Alrighty guys, we got a brand new super boss dragon, a new like Utopia card I believe, and some other brand new field spell. But anyways, I want to check out this new Utopia first because it's called, oh, it's Utopic. Alright, let's check it out though. So these are coming out, by the way, in QCDB. Anyways, this is full armor Utopic Lancer. It's a water beast, okay? It's a rank 4, 2,500 attack, and 600 defense points, and it requires 3 level 4 monsters, and it says, once per turn, you can also exceed summon full armor Utopic Lancer by discarding 1 spell/trap and using 1 rank 4 or lower exceed monster you control, transfer its materials to this card. This could actually be an upside depending on what archetype you're playing, but the first effect is monster your opponent controls lose 500 attack, so effectively making it almost like 3k in a sense. And then once per battle phase, at the start of the battle phase, you can negate the effects of all face-up attack position monsters your opponent currently controls. Unfortunately, this is the battle phase. If this wasn't during the battle phase, you just negate everything, then this would be popping. The next third effect is when this card, as an attacking card, destroys the opponent's monster by battle, you can detach material from this card to make a second attack in a row. So if you have like 3 materials, including, I guess, if you just like use a rank 4, like, and then you have the other card as material, I mean, you can maybe just attack a bunch of times, potentially 4 times. Could be really good in clutch situations, but overall, this part of the effect should have just been like, negate all of the effects, and then you have like an easy $100 new card. But because it doesn't do that, it's kind of niche, but still could see definitely some play. Now let's check out the new super boss dragon. I guess it's a part of a newer archetype. So this is coming out in Lede, L-E-D-E. So this is, I want to say it's probably a new dragon archetype. It's called the Sangan, because it's not Sangan. Sangan Dragions. Oh, so that, is it Dragions or Dragons? I don't know. Anyways, Tenpai Dragon by Dora is a brand new card. Here is the artwork: 1,700 attack, a 1,000 defense, and it's a level 3 fire dragon effect monster. And it says that you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. So, first part of the effect is if this card is normal or special, you can take a brightest spell/trap from your deck and either add to your hand or set it. Second part is you take no battle damage from battles involving your fire dragon monsters. And then the third effect is once per turn during the battle phase, you can, as a quick effect, immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Okay, so that's kind of like a reactive synchro archetype. Next up, we have the Tenpai Dragon Fedora over here. Here is the artwork. So it's got 3 stars, and it's got 1,600 attack, 1,000 defense points, and it is going to be another fire dragon. So it says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is if it's normal or special summon, or at the start of the damage step, if a monster battles, you can target 1 level 4 or lower fire dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Second part is your fire dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. The third effect is once per turn during the battle phase, you can, as a quick effect, and immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon using this card you control. Now, because it's during the battle phase, and since they can't be destroyed by battle, and then this one over here, you take no battle damage, I guess you could maybe try to have a stall archetype, and then once they make something, react to it. But the problem that I already see is it's during the battle phase, so you're more than likely your opponent will just get rid of it before the battle phase, and then you're sitting there saying, well, that's still a little bit too late, you know? Next up, though, we have the Tenpai Dragon Zong Dora. So here is the artwork: 1,500 attack, 1,000 defense, and it's level 4. So this is also, okay, where the rest of them are tuner? Okay, I forgot to read that. Okay, so this one is the first tuner over here. So it's 1,500 attack, 1,000 defense, and it says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is if you control a fire dragon monster, you special summon this card from your hand. Second part is at the start of the damage step, if a monster battles, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower fire dragon monster from your deck. Whoa. Okay, that could be very interesting. I wonder what other targets could work well with this archetype, and except for bestowed dragon Chandura. I'm guessing Tenpai is maybe that's a very specific one. And then once per turn during the battle phase, as you can, as a quick effect, this effect. After this effect resolves, synchro summon. Okay, so it's another battle phase. But any level 4 or lower fire, I think Mass Dragon, doesn't that count? Let me go ahead and actually check out the targets, because this could actually be pretty big for maybe other archetypes as well. So if we go to monsters, we want those effect ones, and then it has to be, does that have to be fire? Level 4 or lower fire. Okay, so 4 or lower fire. So let's go to the attribute and set it to fire, and go to level 4. Does it show 4 and under? Okay, if we just do it like this, cool little thing is if you just scroll down, I mean, we have so many targets here. Oh, it has to be dragon, right? not just fire monster. That'd be pretty OP if it was just fire monster. Okay, so it has to be fire and a dragon. So off the top of my head, I'm just thinking like mass dragon. Okay, so you can summon a Horus. Okay, we're going too high now. So we can summon Horus, and then obviously, well, I already added the new cards over here. We go for that burner. We go for the Poke Draco, Magna Draco, Decoy Dragon. Okay, you know what? There's not even that many targets. I was expecting to see a lot more. Okay, but obviously you can go for the stuff in the archetype. But Mass Dragon, I believe it gives you any dragon monster type. Now, it does have to be destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, but that is part of the effect. Next up, though, we have the Sangan Riser Dragon Bident Dragion, which is a fire dragon synchro tuner effect. This card has some pretty sweet artwork. And anyways, so level 7, 2600 attack, 2000 defense points, and it says requires a dragon tuner and 1 non-tuner dragon monsters. It says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. It says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per duel. Okay, so the once per turn effect is if this card is synchro summon, you can target 1 fire dragon monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Also, you can't special monster for the rest of the turn except for dragon monsters. Okay, that's fine. And the second part of the effect, if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, as a quick effect, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, then you can destroy a spell or trap on the field. Okay, that could be very interesting. So, I mean, you can maybe try to survive with this card, or you can just try to go for like an OTK at that point. A very interesting card. Next up, here is the Super Mega Boss Dragon. This card's name is the Sangan Super Dragon Transcend Dragion, which is a level 10 fire dragon synchro effect, 3000, 3000, so it is definitely the boss of the archetype. It is the Super Dragon. Alright, so some requirements are 1 dragon tuner and 1+ non-tuner dragon monsters. So the first part of it says you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per duel. So if this card is synchro summoned, you can change all monsters on the field to attack position. Second part is all opponent's monsters must attack if able. Also, your opponent can't activate cards or effects during the battle phase. Third effect is if 3 or more attacks have been declared this turn, as a quick effect, you just special summon this card from your graveyard, they can destroy 1 card on the field. Okay, so it's basically just like the other card, but a little bit better. I guess this card makes this card, and if you can just go for the attack, you can probably OTK, but as far as the archetype goes, let's not sign them out yet. Hold on, let's look at the rest of the support before I say that is not good. Next up, we have the Beiming Sangan Manor, which is a field spell card that says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. First part is fire dragon monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects during your main phase 1. Okay, now it's much better, because the problem is that the battle phase is so important. So that automatically is going to be a huge win for them. And the second part is during your main phase, you get to add 1 bestowed dragon monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a card. The unfortunate part is during your main phase, if it was during both players, because that means, again, when you have all these cards, so I can't destroy battle, I take no battle damage, your opponent, during their main phase, it's just going to get rid of them. So it kind of loses out on that. But the fact that, you know, you can just prevent any other, like, plays from going wrong, especially if this deck gets to go first, maybe you could use something. But again, the point of the archetype is to synchro summon during your opponent's turn. Alright, next up, though, this one lets you search out 1. Okay, that's pretty good. And discard 1. And then the third effect is if this card is destroyed during the battle phase, you can target 1 dragon synchro monster you control. Its attack becomes doubled. Okay, so you can have a 6k or, what is that, whatever that number is 5,200. Some quick maths. Okay, so the fact that you get to destroy 1 card in the field when the card comes back, this one lets you get to bring out a card that's even stronger. Remember, those 2 effects are once per duel, but does it really matter in Modern Yu-Gi-Oh? Probably not, because everything's so fast now. So next up we have Sangan Kimman, which is a quick play spell card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. This card was activated outside of the battle phase. Apply 1 of these effects. If it was activated during the battle phase, you can apply any of them in sequence. So you get to add a level 4 lower fire dragon monster from your deck to your hand, or just special summon a fire dragon monster from your hand. Okay, if this was from the deck, then it'd be pretty insane to be able to go for doubles. But yeah, as far as the whole archetype, they almost were looking good if they just said during the main phase, not your main phase. That's the problem I see with the archetype. Let me know, guys, what you think of these new super dragons that are coming out in the game. I think that the archetype is just gonna be very mediocre, but who knows, maybe someone will figure it out. Next up, though, we have new Melodious support. So starting right off, they are going to be Pendulum. It looks like we have a level 4 Light Fairy, and it's going to have 1600 attack, 800 defense points, and the name is reframed the Melodious Songstress. So pen scale of 1, you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is you can target a Melodious Fusion monster you control, send a Melodious monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, the targeted monster gains attack equal to the sent monster's level to X 200 until the end of this turn. The monster effect is that you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is, if this card is no more special summon, you can add a Melodious monster from your deck to your hand except for itself. And then the second part is, if a Melodious fusion monster is special summoned to your field while this card is face up in your extra deck, you can place it in your Pendulum Zone. Next up, we have Couplet, the Melodious Songstress, which is level 5 Fairy Pendulum Effect monster, 1200 attack, 2000 defense points, Pendulum scale of 9. Pendulum effect says that you can only use the second Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is, you cannot Pendulum summon monsters except for light monsters. This effect cannot be negated. Second part is, if you control no face-up Melodious monsters, you could add a Melodious spell/trap from your deck to your hand. Then, the monster effect is, you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name once per turn. The first part is, if this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, for your normal draw, you can reveal it and special summon one level 4 or lower Melodious monster from your hand or graveyard. Second part is, if a Melodious fusion monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your extra deck, you can place this in your Pendulum Zone. Alright, so this is what it comes down to, right? They got like, okay, two boss monsters, okay? Because they need probably more support than just that. I haven't seen anyone play Melodious. Are they even like viable? The last time I remember, it was like, I think it was like Arya is all people played, right? Okay, Arya is not going to be a dragon over here. I think it was like the last time, yeah, like the only thing that I remember like seeing some play was like some like variant with like Christia that actually saw like a little bit higher tier play, but for the most part I haven't seen these in a while. Anyways, next up, Speculator Bach, the Melodious Maestra Baka. Okay, Melodious Maestra. Anyways, level 7 light fairy fusion effect monster, 25 attack, 18 defense. It requires 2 Melodious monsters, so easy summon condition. Says you can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. First part is, if this card is special summon, you need to special summon a Melodious monster from your deck. That's already pretty good. Again, Arya is pretty dang good. Melodious monsters cannot be targeted by card effects or be destroyed by battle. There was some sort of like, I think, soft lock that you can do with Arya and something else, but nonetheless, the other effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a Melodious monster in your graveyard, except for a Baka and the Melodious Maestra, special summon it in defense position. Okay, and then next up we have the Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Floral Song Goddess Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Grand Choir. So it's a level 8 Fairy Fusion Effect monster, 20 attack, 15 defense, requires 1 Melodious Maestra monster plus 2 Melodious monsters. It says you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. First part is, as a quick effect, you can banish any number of Melodious monsters you control until the end phase. Then you can return up to that many face-up cards your opponent controls to the hand. Second part is, if this face-up fusion summon card in its owner's control leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon 1 Melodious monster from your deck or extra deck, except for Flowering Etoile, the Melodious Grand Choir. Next up, we have the Melodious Concerto, which is a normal spell card that says you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. First part is, fusion summon 1 Fairy Fusion monster from your extra deck, use a monster from your hand, field, and or Pendulum Zone. Okay, this makes it so much better, because then they go back and then you can actually just bring them back out, so you can go for like the double fusions. The second part is, if a Melodious Fusion monster is sent to your graveyard while this card is in there, even during the damage step, you can place this card on the bottom of the deck and then draw a card. Okay, so it looks like it's getting a little bit better, but again, I couldn't really speak on Melodious, but this card has some pretty good artwork over there. Anyways, let me know, guys, what you think of the brand new Yu-Gi-Oh cards down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn on the bell so you don't miss out when we see maybe more of the new dragons, because I think they definitely will probably get some more support. Anyways, peace out.